Hi. Um, let's see. I have a few things that I'm going to briefly talk about. Um, one is my hat. I can't wear it. Um, and it won't stay up. It's a shame. Okay. I'm doing a CBD review. It's been a month. This is the CBD I've been using. I am not sponsored and I'm not promoting them in any way. I'm just talking about what I'm using and what has worked for me, um, because there's stuff out there that isn't the real thing, and so you have to be careful um, about where you get it, um, and all that jazz. I use Ananda Professional Full Spectrum Extract. It's 20 milligrams per milliliter. Um, and I have 30 milliliters. I only take it at night. I've used half the bottle. It cost me about $70. So, compared to my other meds, that's 35 a month if I continue to only take it at bedtime. Um, and for something that has worked so well, it is damn worth it. And it's just down the street at my pharmacy. Um, so like I said, I only take it at bedtime. I can take it during the day, but I find that it's like sublingual and it has a dropper, and I put it under my tongue. It's kind of hard to get the bottle open. So, yeah, so it comes, there's about one, and I just get half. Put that under my tongue, leave it there for so many seconds, really, and it doesn't taste very good, but it doesn't taste really bad. Um, and for me, what I feel like I get is like when I first get it, is like a bolus, and then I feel the effects throughout the day, the next day. Um, and I, if I take it during the day, I find that I feel more uninhibited than I normally am, a little too relaxed. Um, than is my who I am, and just taking it at bedtime has been super awesome. And the proof is in the pudding. I um, keep my mood tracked, and in the past, it has looked like this mess. Just dots and X's, up and down from um, depression and irritability. Uh, that's in not having any warning when a mood is going to change. Anxiety all the time. It would just sort of, but it was there all the time. And I, I just felt very unsteady and unstable and unpleasant. I was afraid to be around people because my mood, I just never knew when I was going to be I just was never comfortable. Um, I don't, I just always fighting and struggling to feel at ease. Um, so I started taking it right about here at the end of May. Right about here. And end of May. So let me show you what June looked like. My mood was, so that line right there, all of that, that's normal. My mood was so normal throughout June that I forgot to bother to mark it down. It wasn't something that I was worrying about or was that I was concerned was a problem or I was dealing with. I was just living my life. Um, so it I really did not expect it to do anything when I got it. I thought it was going to be an expensive disappointment. Um, but for me, I have had um, what it has done for me for a full solid month. Um, and this is unusual. My mood has been normal almost every day. I have like predictable, normal, um, like if I'm irritable, this past day or two I have been irritable, I've been having a lot of jaw pain, and it's related to that. It's not bipolar irritable. Um, my let's see. So the mixed episode, which is usually where the irritability and um, explosive anger and stuff um, plays a part. I've seen almost nil of that. Um, Hypomania, just the tad here, maybe there. Um, Not really. Um, Depression, a, a little bit, but I believe it to be normal. It doesn't like it's definitely associated with something going on. Um, it's triggered by something going on, not just, it's not what I experience as bipolar depression. It's, I walk by a mirror at the store and see my body and that will kind of bum me out for a day or two. Um, if I see something on TV and it makes me realize that people get old and die or die young, even, I'll be thrown off a little bit. But I think that's normal for people who don't have a mood disorder. So, um, and it never feels like I'm like just dropping, like, like your blood sugar drops. I never feel a mood just slamming into me. Um, and I can almost always um, associate it with something going on that is completely rational. So that's a very new experience. I have not had that in a very long time. So I would say for bipolar wise, for me, it has definitely helped. Um, Anxiety, The um, general ill ease that like um, every evening I would get this discomfort, like anxiety. This um, it wasn't. It was generalized, and it made me afraid to be alone. But it also made me afraid. Anxiety made me afraid to go out. I don't know, but um, that's almost gone. I do still get anxious, but it's expected things that you would expect someone to feel a little anxious. Um, I my thought process is different. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be me and maybe we'll get along and I'm there to do a job or I'm just gonna talk and be me. And whether they like that or not, that's up to them. I don't care. um, Whereas the self talk would be, what do they expect from me? I need to meet those expectations, even though it's not me. Do they like me? Did I just say the wrong thing? Um, just constant. And that's what keeps me home, like, keeps me from just being comfortable. And I just was never comfortable. I was just always anxious. I was sick and tired of being anxious. And I can make decisions now a lot better because there's less anxiety in there. I don't get little things don't upset me. I'm like, well, I guess that's about the best it's gonna be, and be happy with it and walk away. Um, it, it's like I'm not as hypercritical, and I don't. My expectations are. I have few expectations, so I'm able to have a problem and think through it and decide, well, that's the best it's gonna get, so I'll just live with it. Or I'm not anxious and irritated and angry, so I can, okay, well, how can I solve this? I can actually do the thought process of that. And I I've really enjoyed that. Um, I fall asleep. I take it when I start to feel my medication making me feel a little heavy. I take it and I just ease into sleep. Um, and um, it I sleep with my medications. I didn't change anything with my medications. Um, it just is and I wake up so differently. I'm not groggy. I just wake up, and if I have to wake up earlier than when I'm naturally coming to, I don't feel heavy and unrested and like I used to every morning. So I can actually get up earlier and I'm falling asleep earlier because I'm taking that, including my medication. So I'm waking up earlier and not struggling with that through the day. Um, when I was in Michigan, I did start to get overwhelmed, and that was out of pure exhaustion of the social um, situation I was in, the constant, that was just exhaustion. That's why I was tired. And I was having to get up earlier than I normally do, even with on the CBD. Um, so during that period, I did feel kind of tired, but it had nothing to do with the bipolar or the CBD or insomnia. Uh, Insomnia hasn't been a problem. Um, and in fact, that used to be a problem. I used to struggle to fall asleep. I would, you know, if I don't fall asleep within the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna try warm milk and chamomile tea. I'm gonna get up and read. I'm gonna, and it was just 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and I wasn't falling asleep till um, much like 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. So that it's helped with my sleep regulation. Now, I have noticed a couple things that are actually worse. Um, and those are my tremor, which I have mainly in just my left hand. Um, the jerkiness in this right hand, which is a completely different disorder, which is kind of weird. This is essential tremor, and this is tardive dyskinesia. The essential tremor seems worse, but the tardive dyskinesia does not. So I'm shaking more with this hand when I go to do tasks, but I am not jerking this hand around in my body um, as much. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. But I think the tremor one is worse. But that could be coincidence because it is progressive disorder, so that just could be its natural progression. I've noticed the grinding of my teeth. Well, no, I take that back. That doesn't really count because I had this thing. It cost $2,000 to get the whole thing done. They had to do scans and all kinds of weird stuff, and finally got this thing made. And I would have to glue it together because I grind it apart. And then before I left, I was going to pack, and I found my dog with it, and that's all that's left. Um, I'm going to the dentist on Wednesday to start the process of getting a new night guard for grinding my teeth, but it's not the same kind. I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't have $2,000. And they would have to, it's been so long, they'd have to do everything all over again. That thing stopped my teeth grinding. It was wonderful. I was in love with it, but I did just grind it to pieces. Um, and I've been doing that since I was in my early 20s that I know of. Who knows, it could have been earlier. But I'm using like over-the-counter things. And even though they tell me not to, I just can't imagine just grinding my teeth against themselves. They're so messed up from it that I'm waking up in pain right around here and all the way up to the back of my head, the muscles. So there's a possibility that that's worsened since I've been using the CBD. I'm going to wait and see how the night guard I get from the regular dentist, which is only $300. Um, anyway, so that is the CBD update. Um, I would say if you have been thinking about it, I definitely would give it a try. Um, I would talk to your doctor first, or at least inform them that you are going to give it a try. And, because I've heard people say it's done wonders, and I can say that it's done a lot for me. I've heard that some people say, well, it didn't do anything, but because it's unregulated, perhaps they got a product that was phony. So, or yeah, it just wasn't what it is supposed to be. Um, so that's that's that. My mom's going out of town for a week on the 1st, so it'll be me and the dogs and you guys, because then I'll be able to do lives whenever. Um, it'll be the same times, but I can do them downstairs. I want to do at least one. And there's some topics I want to make videos of. And so, let's see. I think that's all I have to report. Um, I will talk to you guys some more in a few days. Good night.